Hello, and thank you for visiting the Obtaining a Provisional Teacher License component of the Massachusetts Educator Licensure Series, also known as MELS. The intent of this presentation is to provide general information pertaining to provisional teacher licensure and to help those eligible and interested in obtaining their first or an additional provisional teacher license in Massachusetts. A provisional license provides a pathway into the educator profession for candidates that typically have not completed an approved educator preparation program. If you already hold an initial or professional teacher license in Massachusetts, please keep in mind that you are not eligible for a provisional teacher license. If you already hold an initial or professional teacher license and you are interested in obtaining an additional teacher license, please visit the Obtaining Additional Massachusetts Teacher Licenses component of MELS. Throughout this presentation, there will be references to finding additional information such as guides, forms, and other websites. Links to these resources can be found within the overview located directly beneath this video. A provisional license is valid for 5 years of employment in the role of the license in public schools or other settings where possession of the license is required by Massachusetts law. Common requirements for all provisional licenses are possession of a bachelor's degree and achieving a passing score on the Communication and Literacy Skills test. Beyond these requirements, earning a provisional license may also require passing scores on tests that address subject matter knowledge, completion of seminars or courses, and/or a competency review. These licenses may be earned through possession of a bachelor's degree, achieving a passing score on the Communication and Literacy Skills test, and achieving a passing score on a corresponding subject matter test. Please be advised that both the History 1 through 6 and the General Science 1 through 6 licenses have the option of completing a competency review in lieu of achieving a passing score on a corresponding subject matter test. Information on MTEL registration, preparation, and other test-related information can be found through the MTEL link contained within the overview directly beneath this video. The licenses noted on this slide also require possession of a bachelor's degree, achieving a passing score on the Communication and Literacy Skills test, and achieving a passing score on a corresponding subject matter test. However, to account for amendments to the regulations, applicants attempting to earn any of these licenses must apply and satisfy all requirements prior to July 1st of 2019.
This slide contains licenses for which no subject matter knowledge test has been established. These provisional licenses may be earned through possession of a bachelor's degree, achieving a passing score on the Communication and Literacy Skills test, and successful completion of a competency review. A competency review is a process generally used by the department when there is no subject matter test in place for the license sought to determine that the licensure candidate has the necessary subject matter knowledge. A competency review is required for many of the foreign languages and library licenses.
Let's look specifically at the requirements for the early childhood students with and without disabilities, and elementary licenses. Even though the early childhood licenses have slightly different names, they both serve the same function. Therefore, applicants cannot earn both licenses and should not apply for both. In addition, applicants attempting to earn the Provisional Early Childhood Teacher of Students with and Without Disabilities Pre-K2 license must apply and satisfy all requirements prior to July 1st of 2019. Common requirements for all three licenses include the possession of a bachelor's degree, a passing score on the Communication and Literacy Skills test, a passing score on the Foundations of Reading test, and seminars or courses on ways to prepare and maintain students with disabilities for general classrooms. Both early childhood licenses also require a passing score on the Early Childhood Subject Matter test. In addition, earning the Early Childhood Students with and Without Disabilities license requires seminars or courses that address the teaching of reading, English language arts, and mathematics. The Provisional Elementary 1 through 6 license may be earned through satisfying all of the common requirements and achieving a passing score on the General Curriculum Multi-Subject Subtest, as well as achieving a passing score on the General Curriculum Mathematics Subtest. Additional information pertaining to subject matter tests, including tests that may be taken in lieu of the tests noted on this slide, can be found through the Subject Matter Test Requirement option link contained within the overview located directly beneath this video. Special needs teacher licenses include moderate disabilities, severe disabilities, visually impaired, and teacher of the deaf and hard of hearing. Requirements common among all of these licenses include possession of a bachelor's degree, a passing score on the Communication and Literacy Skills Test, a passing score on the General Curriculum Multi-Subject Subtest, a passing score on the General Curriculum Mathematics Subtest, seminars or courses on ways to prepare and maintain students with disabilities for general classrooms, and a competency review. These common requirements are, in fact, the requirements to obtain the Provisional Students with Severe Disabilities license. In addition to the common requirements, the moderate disabilities, deaf and hard of hearing, oral, and the visually impaired licenses require a passing score on the Foundations of Reading test. Lastly, for the teacher of deaf and hard of hearing, American Sign Language Tonal Communication license, in addition to the common requirements, a passing score on the SLIPI is required. Information about the SLIPI and subject matter test, including tests that may be taken in lieu of those noted, can be found through the links contained within the overview located directly beneath this video. To document possession of bachelor's degree, applicants should upload an official undergraduate transcript that includes the registrar's signature, notes of bachelor's degree conferred, the conferral date, and all coursework within. The degree must be completed through a college or university that is accredited by a recognized organization. Applicants that earn a degree outside of the United States through a college or university not accredited by a recognized organization should upload a degree equivalency report completed by a nationally recognized agency. The bachelor's degree is required by statute. Therefore, applicants with graduate degrees still must submit verification of a bachelor's degree. Massachusetts tests for Educator Licensure, or MTEL, consist of the Communication and Literacy Skills Test and Subject Matter Test. Additional information pertaining to how to upload documents, recognized accrediting organizations, nationally recognized agencies, or MTEL, can be found through the links contained within the overview located directly beneath this video. Seminar or course requirements are satisfied through at least 10 hours of instruction specific to and completely covering the requirement. For example, ways to prepare and maintain students with disabilities for general classrooms. Specific to means all of these hours must pertain to this requirement. Completely covering means that both components, ways to prepare and ways to maintain, students with disabilities for general classrooms must be covered within the 10 hours. Addressing the teaching of reading, ELA, and mathematics requires at least 10 hours of instruction addressing the teaching of each subject. Thus, this requirement involves a minimum of 30 hours of instruction. These hours may be gained through coursework and/or seminars. Applicants should upload official transcripts to document coursework. Seminars are documented through letters or certificates of completion. Often, the hours of instruction delivered specific to and covering a requirement cannot be determined from seminar or course titles or from other supporting documentation such as course descriptions. In such situations, uploading a letter constructed as noted in the templates contained within the Competency Review Guide is encouraged. Please upload transcripts, clarifying letters, and/or certificates of completion into your ELAR account. Competency review requirements may also be satisfied through 10 hours of instruction specific to and completely covering each requirement or by other means noted in the Competency Review Guide. In some instances, they may also be satisfied through exams accepted by the department. Please refer to the Competency Review Guide to see competency review requirements for each license and means to satisfy these requirements. In addition, you can access instructions and templates to help document that you have met requirements. The Competency Review Guide can be viewed through the link contained within the overview located directly beneath this video. This slide is an example of a letter that documents competency review requirements satisfied through the mentored employment option. A template of this letter noting all required components can be found in the Competency Review Guide. Please keep in mind that obtaining a license may permit a district to legally employ you in the role of the license. A provisional license is valid for 5 years of employment, and as of July 1st, 2019, an educator who holds one or more provisional licenses may be employed under said licenses for no more than 5 years in total. Educators employed under a provisional license for 5 years have a professional responsibility to advance the provisional license to an initial license before starting their next year of employment in the role of the license in a public school or other setting where possession of the valid license is required by Massachusetts law. To learn more about the validity of a provisional license, please view the Provisional Validity Guidelines located directly beneath this video. Thank you for taking the time to learn more about Educator licensure in Massachusetts. Thank you also for being an educator or aspiring to become one. Your efforts are commendable and greatly appreciated. We hope this component of MELS has been helpful. Please visit other components of the series for additional information about Educator licensure. If you have any questions or concerns, please do not hesitate to call the Licensure Call Center at 781-338-6600 or stop by and visit us in person at our walk-in service counter at 75 Pleasant Street, Malden, Mass.